Ready? Are we already podcasting? Are we
Ready for
back?
what? What are we doing?
I
It's episode 30. We've done this 30 times. That's crazy. That's
oh
crazy.
frick, dude! I was just playing the Rebellion, and now I'm here. Oh, what is up, Rydog? Welcome into the booth. Welcome to episode 30 of SGL podcast. Goodness me. Also, I am very much distracting myself. Bear Blitz continues to queue ranked with me in Red 4 right now. So, uh, yeah, that's the state of me right now.
Dude, we're just but
Straight
thanks for
vibe.
sticking around. Obviously, yeah, like Debit said, just played Rebellion. We don't have to talk about that though, but you can see what the result is there on the screen in front of you. But thanks for sticking around for the podcast. I know Reese is watching finally from work, so hopefully he's painting some bathrooms or something at the stadium, or maybe he's not. I guess we'll find out. But yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Yes, thank you indeed. And we got lots to break down for you. We were back to cup competition this past week across both the championship and the premier. Yeah, we should be down into the final four teams, at least for a championship side. And I think the same should be said for the premier. I'll be able to get the cup back on stream over here. Do apologize, I'm lagging a bit behind. See if I can see what's popping up over here. But yeah, that's what happened in this past week of SGL. Back to our 7-game series within the cup itself. Showing you the premiere first. Seeing Austin Lasinko Dose taking down EM Dallas Burn 4-2 in a Game 6 thriller. That's one that I recommend you watch back. Timber's Army taking it 4-2 over KC Cauldron. That one was actually closer than I thought it would be too. Shout out to the Cauldron for making that as competitive as it was. And Chrome taking on El Matador, getting it done in 7 against a team that honestly is probably really hard to play against like week to week. So it's a really good result here for Chrome.
Yeah, I've said it before on the podcast and broadcasts and stuff. It's just you just can never count out Chrome like at all. I think there have been times in the past where I've counted them out, and I shouldn't have because they always prove me wrong. And they do it again against EM in the upper bracket, so they guarantee themselves top 2 in the Prem Cup, but also top 2 in the league as well. So top 2 finish there is pretty good for the newly formed team there. And I guess that also secures them, and Maz can correct me if I'm wrong in the commentary chat, but I believe they get a bracket reset, right? They get the bracket advantage because they went through the upper final. So
Indeed they do. It is a pure double elim bracket to go forth, because it might be a little silly to take away the double elim. Say like you get to the winner spot and all of a sudden it's like, no, you lost it. We don't have that proper setup like RLCS does, where we filter teams down into winners and lowers.
Yeah, but good matches all around. Obviously, yeah, Chrome business in 7, that looks so good. I agree with your take. Obviously biased, but the TA Cauldron series, I mean, we all know that Cauldron is really freaking good on paper, and so you can never sleep on them. TA kind of dominated game 1, but KC came back and won the next 2, and I don't want to say I was nervous at all. I think if they would have won one more game, I would have been like, oh crap, here we go. But us coming back in that game 4, bringing it up to 2-2, I think we just had the momentum after that. And Lasinko Dose taking down EM Dallas Burn. I had said after that match that I wanted EM Dallas Burn to win, only because I wanted a rematch from that the upper quarterfinal there on the top left of your screen. But Lasinko Dose, I think, has just proved that they're right behind Chrome and TA in the league, so they're right there, and they absolutely deserve to be in the lower semifinal there. And of course, the winner of that match will take on EM. So lots of fun in the Prem Cup we've got.
Yep, indeed. Kind of emblematic of how the season's going right now. Austin on the rise, see if they get to do it against Timber's Army. But let's throw it back to the championship, because they also did have cup competition this week. We get to do a little bit of a review of that one. In that series, we could see Rebellion taking down Azul 4-1. Azul made that a lot more I guess, complicated in some areas than I thought it would be, but that's just the Rebellion tenacity taking over, getting it done for them in 5 in the upper final. So, Rebellion are sitting pretty in grands right now. Meanwhile, Azul get to face the loser, the winner of Steel Army and Eternal. Steel Army taking on EC Defiance and winning 4-1. Good performance put up by EC Defiance. Honestly, closer than expected as well. A lot of aspects about it that you can't just simplify it down to a matchup score. And then EC Eternal and LV, they're still getting a lot of things rolling for them. So it's a very big development year for them. They'll take, honestly, any matchup they can get at this point, because they did just bring in 2 players as well. So anything to get those guys experience, they definitely took the opportunity.
Yeah, I think LV is going to be the new kind of EC Defiance of prior seasons, where they just weren't getting the results and just were kind of sitting at the bottom of the table, but they stick together and they obviously rise to the ranks. Unfortunately, ECD did lose to your team this week in the cup, which kind of goes against that statement. But I think in the league they've shown for sure just how playing, the chemistry is so important in Rocket League. It's just like one of those things that's often overlooked, because you always see the flashy mechanics and this and that, but you don't really understand how good these teams play when they just have good chemistry, and ECD is one of those teams for sure. And so yeah, like I said, unfortunate that they couldn't get done against your team, Steel Army, but which I think on paper that result makes sense. But I think for LV, they're just in that beginning phase that ECD had done a few seasons ago. So they'll be near the top soon, or at least climbing the table soon. They just unfortunately have to wait their turn.
Yeah, it is a little emblematic of a pay your dues type style within this league. As you mentioned, ECD, they got to play against every top team back during that time too. They got to play against the Rebellion back whenever they were, getting 4th place in the league. They played against Casey Cauldron. They played against ECRC as well. So they got to get the full brunt of the league thrown at them. Meanwhile, they've, even with the addition of Bisbo, they just keep ranking up. Honestly, a really impressive squad to watch week to week. I hope you get to watch any of their games. They're a fun one to watch, especially whenever they come into the commentary booth. And yeah, that'll do it for a little recap of the championship cups that we've got for both Premier and the championship. Honestly, my brain is fried because I'm still in accountant land and partly playing ranked, and also just played a game of Rocket League, so I'm literally forgetting what the formula is next. Are we yapping already? Do I have to do that?
Yeah, no, not yet. We're
okay.
Maybe something to talk about. We just had our transfer window here in the league. So obviously you have your rosters at the beginning of the season, and there's a 1-week transfer window that had just closed. Let's see, I think on Sunday, so the 4th. And so there were some new additions to squads. I'm not sure. Maz had kind of given me some things behind the scenes, but I'm not sure exactly.
We gave
what that alludes to. Oh, here we go.
A little breakdown of it. Yeah.
There we go. Thank you, Maz. So yeah, so Fly Penguin to Steel Army. I'll kind of just read these down, and then we can kind of yap a little bit. We got some new players for LV. You had just mentioned 2 new players, so there you go. We've got a new player for Listing Coach Zose, so Austin doing some huge recruiting in the midseason window, and then of course the huge EM to EM transfer, Huey from EM Dallas Burn to El Matador. So not a new player, but just a new team for Huey there. I guess we'll start at the top, and because obviously you're going to know him best, Mr. Fly Penguin 53. Maybe give a brief rundown on, because I think it is a fun story. I'm sure you've told it 50,000 times, but just for the viewers one more time of how you met him and how he joined the league.
Yeah, it's actually one of my favorite stories, and how these different leagues that we have across Rocket League can kind of bring us together, especially ones like SGL. It was actually back on that Tulsa trip. There was somebody on the bus that I did not know that played Rocket League. Got on the Steel Army bus, posted a picture in United Rogue Discord, like for like IRL soccer stuff or like soccer chat, whatever, sports, whatever channel it was called over there. And Luis gave me a ping on Discord, funny enough, on the way back. He said, "Yo, wait, you know this guy? He was in Tulsa for the final," which is kind of crazy. And then I took a look at the username. I recognized that Discord name because they were in the Steel Army Discord, and then all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute, they're on the bus. I need to get them in SGL. And that's what Luis told me immediately. So struck up a little conversation at one of the Columbus, I think Columbus area sheets on our way back. And yeah, just sort of talked to him about SGL, told him what we do here. It was something that you wanted to join up for, and he was interested. And he's featured in 2 matches so far. And he still hasn't quit yet, so I think we're on a good track right now.
Yeah, that is a super fun story. I think that just highlights like the supporters culture that this league kind of brings, right? We love our soccer teams, and we also love Rocket League, so bringing those two together is often fun. And of course, like, you just don't know who plays the game, right? You don't know who supports your team and plays the game. You can post on Reddit, Twitter, all these things, but you never know until you're on a bus to Tulsa to the USL Championship, and you get a ping that says, "Oh shoot, hey, this guy supports the same team I do, and he's on the same bus, and he plays Rocket League with me." So that's just a really cool story. Also, he's, at least from my perspective, obviously you can talk about him a little bit more as a player, but he's been super active in the Discord, so he's an awesome addition, at least because I think he joined like one of the first days, because he was kind of already pre-set up, if you will. So once that roster window opened, he joined up and has been really awesome in the Discord. So I'm hoping some of these other players too that I haven't heard too much about yet can do that as well.
Yeah, exactly. And you had mentioned Optimat and Justin A. also for Los Verdes. They already featured in new games as well for this past Cup week. So that's huge. Glad to see them join up. Got to talk to them a little bit in VC. So yeah, welcome to all of our newbies. Hope to see you on the pitch real soon. Maybe get some private matches going every now and then, I hope. Matt's asking, were you expecting more from Fly Penguin given his prior RL experiences? I mean, expectations are one thing, but honestly, I'll just take any Steel Army player that wants to play Rocket League, because that's the goal of this league at the end of the day. Just bring a little bit of us together. So like, he's in Steel Army Discord, he's in this Discord, he gets to hear a whole bunch of different things from different people. Yeah, I'm just happy to have him here. I just want more people playing Rocket League. Now, do I believe like my roster can do it on any given day? Yeah, absolutely. But sometimes things take time. We built Raisin Boy, Bear, Red 4, and I up over 5 years at this point. The like first roster move we've ever made, so it's gonna take time. But so be it. We get to play with Fly Penguin.
Well, it just goes back to the chemistry too, right? Like you already had that chemistry with obviously you and your brothers, and then Raisin Boy as well. But adding Fly Penguin too, like he'll get there. He'll get there. You just got to feature him in more games, play some ranked in the off time and stuff like that, which of course I know will happen at some point. So that should be good. I also feel like my only clout, if you want to call it clout, is on Reddit. So I try and post on there, and I get lots of kind of basic interest of, oh hey, I play Rocket League and I'm a Timbers fan, and so I try and get them in the Discord. And we've gotten some hits. That's why we have the I call them the baby Timbers, because I loved them so much, the Axe and Rose boys, because obviously we were able to split up that team last season because we finally had enough interest, so that was good. Yeah, hopefully we weren't able to get any more interest during this summer, or this winter window, whatever you want to call it. Hopefully the beginning of next season I'll do some more reaching out. I'll have some of my other friends reach out, have some of the guys reach out to see if they know anybody that plays Rocket League and supports the Timbers, and do that. So because obviously that's what it is, right? You were mentioning it, Debit, that we just, the teams and stuff will make themselves. That's fine. It's just we want more players to play Rocket League with, but also have a love for soccer and have a love for, you know, our local teams. So I think that's number one. And then of course, yeah, like I said, the number two at the end of the day is making the teams and competing.
Yep. So these things, they'll take time. So every new player, well, segue that into Maz's question about experiences getting into SGL. What advice do you both have to offer to the new players? Rydog, I'm actually going to let you answer that one first because I want to get your perspective first before I give mine. Given I'm an admin and I've been here forever, you're a newer face, but still been here for a while.
It's weird to be here for a while. My first season was season 7, I think. I just think it's just like being super involved in the Discord. Like we all love soccer. We all love, you know, talking about the Prem, talking about other leagues, talking about, of course, MLS and USL and all of that stuff. And so you'll find lots of people that have similar interests, right? There's a lot of, you know, Manchester United fans, Liverpool fans, Chelsea fans, like City fans. I'll say that for Reese because I know he's watching somewhere. That are in the Discord, and so you just strike up conversations because you happen to be waking up on a Saturday morning watching the game, and you pop on Discord, and you know 3, 4, 5 other guys are also watching the same game, and you can talk about it. And so I think that part of the community is really cool, and of course it expands beyond soccer, right? The sports channel with hockey, you got a huge Dallas Stars fans, of course, in the chat, and Penguins fans, of course, you and I, and you know, all the different college football, baseball, you name it. Like it's just a really active community, and so it's just nice to be like a part of that and to you know give your input and have people, you know, just have somebody to talk to about those things. It's something that like you never really think of, especially like when I joined. Smashley was actually the one that kind of got our team together. Ironically, he's a Seattle fan, and he was the one that actually posted, I think, on the Timbers Reddit and said, hey, does anybody play Rocket League here? Like, we've got this league, check it out. And my buddy sent it to me because he knew I played Rocket League, and then we got connected, and then of course I knew Nelly and Reese and got those guys, and then we just kind of built it up from there. So just be super as involved as you possibly can, just because we, like I said, we all have similar interests, and it's fun to yap about things you like.
Yep. Good stuff to toss around. Yes, echoing back, we said try to get involved, see what things sort of interest you. As far as Discord goes, ignore hang on, let me get the full legal name. And
there you go, I already know what you're talking about,
so you don't get confused. Hashtag Palace512, hashtag which bumbleclat dog I am. Don't listen to that guy, and don't listen to Playboy406725. Your experiences will get much better just sort of reading past that, but unfortunately that's like 80% of your experience. But yeah, we'll talk about, you know, whatever. We love yapping about football, hockey. We got soccer that's on a little bit of hiatus right now. But yeah, we're just a community of people that love to play Rocket League, that love supporting our teams. I was dead asking to give the same advice. Well, Caesar, you know, great minds think alike. So, yeah, I'll just add on to that. And yeah, I'm just gonna stress that it's gonna take time to, you know, sort of like get settled, because this league is not like playing ranked. This league, people don't say their strategies, but like there are random strategies that get thrown out there, and there are chemistries that you gotta play against that are just not what you're used to playing against. So you gotta be willing to roll with some punches every now and then.
I think it's also cool, and I didn't mention this, that like you see these guys like at the games, right? Like obviously with you and Fly Penguin, right? He was literally on a 15-hour bus ride to Tulsa for the championship, and before leaving, you had no idea, right? And it's those kind of like just cool ad hoc things, right? Like I'll talk with like Canty and Goddamn Delight are the two that I'm thinking of. Oh, of course, and Piglet as well. Like these guys, like I had no idea existed, and then we met through this league, and I see them at games all the time. I see Kyle all the time. He always wears a pink beanie, and so it's easy to spot him in the Timbers Army when I'm walking around, you know, working with Reese, and just seeing like Greg comes in before and helps with Tifo and gets it set up. So him, like I said, Nelly and I always like to go over and say what's up, and then Canty always messages us, hey, I'm in the stadium, where I'm in 106 or 206 or whatever, and we always go say what's up. And so it's like those special moments that like you meet these like seemingly like random people, but like you now have something in common of you both are Timbers fans in this case, and you both love to play Rocket League.
That's awesome. You get to build up that community with your fellow supporters around. Get to talk to them, point them out. Friendly face everywhere you go. And yeah, happy to see Canty's getting more involved. Yeah, Matt, like we say it right here, but Maz is one of the biggest echoers of supporter culture and building up that community through it all. We're just faces on a screen that are telling that to you because we both believe in that. So yeah. Let's keep up the good work over here. Let's keep bringing in our supporters who play Rocket League, and start just yelling at people that that are soccer fans. Be like, hey, you like Rocket League, right? I don't even know what that is. Well, you do now. Start playing. And all of a sudden,
pretty much,
boom, we got new players.
Pretty much. I've always debated like just standing outside Providence Park and just with the sign just like play Rocket League, scan this QR code for sign up for SGL,
Just the blankest stare that you can possibly give them to. No
what's
emotion
that?
whatsoever.
Yeah, what are those like TikTok guys that like do like the signs and they're like they have like the sunglasses on and stuff. There's like two of them. Oh gosh, I can't think of.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, but I can't
think of what they do. Like the $20 if somebody brings us their dad for a day, or like whatever, like those random ones.
Yeah.
Like, just do that. So, but
oh yeah, that's the idea that we got to bring forth. Gotta write that one down.
Sweet, but now, Debit, are we ready to start yapping?
All right, yeah, because you're right, because I needed to, break this bad boy out before getting into everything. And yeah, I am hyper unprepared. I barely got the warm up in. We gotta start going to the premiere, and you know what? I say I come with a receipt prepared every time, but you know what? We're quite literally doing this one on the fly. It literally is on the fly. There's no other way to put it right now. I have my rankings from last week to at least help me out. But as far as that goes, I am going to go from the bottom up. And unfortunately, yeah, I might have to roll back what I said last time. SRC, I think I put you up a bit too high. And honestly, if it wasn't for this number 7 team, you'd probably be up a bit higher. But that's why I'm putting SRC at last, ECRC at 7, EM Dallas Burn at 6. Oh, I'm already hearing. I'm ready for everything right now. Just keep typing. 5 Kansas City. 4. Oh gosh, this is where things get tough. Let's Cinco Dose. Actually, no. Scratch that. Not Let's Cinco Dose. EM are going down here. Let's Cinco Dose get 3. Chrome get 2. Timbers Army get 1. Luis, chill out, bro. Let other people talk. Rydog was giving a nice little paragraph line by line before you interrupted him.
Prove it. Why is this the correct list to you?
Why is this the correct list to me? Because it's hard to power rank when teams don't play, and Sounders RC going down to 8th honestly felt like the most correct. ECRC did not play as well, so this is just a casualty of not playing. EM Dallas Burn, to put up the result they did against Let's Cinco Dose, I think earns them some cred here in this power ranking, so I popped them up exactly 2 spots actually, just because they actually played. So shout out to them. Kansas City, I mean, nothing really changed there. It's nothing else to say about that one. The hardest one was actually EM and Lacinco Dose, because EM has been on quite a roll, and they lost to the Chrome of all teams in 7. But I also, like, I have to promote Austin for what they're doing right now. That was still an impressive result, all things considered. And yeah, you guys won your matchup in lowers. You still get to continue on to the cup. Chrome get a good win. There's arguments to say Chrome on top again, but it's hard to dethrone whenever Timber's army keeps getting the results in front of them. And it's the league's problem now. I will humbly remit myself from any what is this? Confrontation or arguments about it. This is it.
All right. I get it, but I don't. Yeah, I'm with Maz on this one. I don't necessarily agree, but it kind of makes sense. You know? So
yeah, there's elements of it, but it's not completely bullshit, you know?
Yeah. Some parts you're a little crazy, some parts you're not.
You bring up a good question though.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I think I'm hoping I get some. Not that I do this for the love of the chat, but I'm hoping I get some. Luis is really just digging in right now, and I'm hoping to make him proud. Bottom, I do have SRC, and then EM Dallas Burn at 7. I think that makes sense. And then 6, I do have ECRC. I think I had them 6 last time. If not, they obviously haven't played, but I think just since we have nothing new to grade them on, I think it just makes sense to continue that they just haven't been performing the way they should and the way that we obviously know them to do. I think part of that is just due to the league just leveling up this season across the board, and then maybe staying pretty stagnant as far as the level of the team is concerned. So obviously if you stay stagnant, other teams are rising, that's quite an issue there. So we'll see about that. Also, it satisfies Luis's Playboy Farty down at 7, which we'll see about that. But nonetheless, I do have I have Case. Do I have KC next? Yeah, I do have KC next at 5. They look. I've said it all season, and I'll say it again because we're doing the podcast and we love to yap. On paper, they have the top 3 roster in the league. It's no questions asked. Serrano is insanely good. Smitty is insanely good. Funch impressed me when we played them this week, and obviously Fatality is really, really good as well. Just not they ran into a hot TA team this week, right? And so I think I kept them at 5 last time. I think this is going to be pretty similar to my power rankings potentially from last week. So I know Maz will post them in the SGL Discord when we finish up. Yeah, they pushed us with Funch. It's fun. Can you guys hear me still?
I think you just came back.
Okay, cool. I don't know where I cut out, but yeah, KC at 5. I think that makes sense. Gosh, this one is 3A, 3B for me right now. I think I'm gonna go Lacinco Dose 4, EM 3. Like I said, it's 3A, 3B. I think it's a toss-up between them right now because I think obviously EM's just a little bit ahead of them in the cup, but then Lacinco Dose obviously has the slight edge in league there by 1 point. So very, very close between those two teams. I think you could go back and forth on there. And then I think you could potentially say the same thing, kind of what you were mentioning, Debit, on Chrome and TA. But I think both teams this week obviously did what they had to do to win. Obviously, Chrome taking it to 7, but getting the job done against EM. Timber's Army doing it at 6 against KC. I have Chrome 2, TA 1. So, like I said, it might look pretty similar to what I did last week, but yeah, I know Luis has said it on the previous match commentary booth. Licinco Dose is gonna level up with a new player, so that should be pretty exciting for them. I have no issues with them moving up past EM, given future results with this new player, if that's the case. But until I see one of those games happen, I'm gonna keep them there for now. But like I said, that 3-4 is so close between them. You could flip them and I'd be fine.
Yeah, that one's really tough to do because Austin are just continually putting together the results, but also EM are strangely doing it in a similar manner. The records are lining up, the performances are well. EM took a Chrome team to 7, so it's hard to disagree putting them at 3 as well. Whenever Austin was only playing EM Dallas Burn, but I think that's where I just lended a slight bit of credence to EMDB for their performance against Austin, taking it to 6. Yeah, I honestly don't disagree with your list either.
Well, and also, like, obviously with that league table, I know Maz took it away, which is fine. He doesn't need to bring it back, but like that 4, 5, and 6 is their 1 point, right? Is he gonna bring it? But that's fine. Like the Cinco Dose, KC, and EM are 1 point different, and so I think for now you have these like 3 distinct, like kind of tiers, I guess, in power rankings right now, like in the league table, where you have a TA and Chrome kind of 1 and 2 battling it out, right? You've got this 3, 4, 5, which are like super close and kind of battling it out, and those could be interchanged. And then you kind of have the, I guess, maybe 4 tiers. So you have ECRC, which isn't really in the bottom tier, but they're not really in that like middle tier. And then you have EM Dallas Burn and Sounders RC kind of rounding out the bottom there. So interesting.
Absolutely. One that we still got to keep an eye on week to week. One that, presents us with some hot takes that get me killed here in Twitch chat. But I asked in Discord very nicely that I love you all and don't hate me. So, yeah, it's your turn now. React. Do your own power rankings. We'll figure it out. But yeah, that's the premiere. And guess we gotta bring up the champ again. We thought we had one thing going for us in the champ, but I think we gotta shift around some rankings again.
Yes, I'm gonna start this time, and I there might be some flippy. So I think mine, unfortunately, is gonna be exactly like the league table, apart from Rebellion 1, Steel Army 2. So yeah, I'll let Maz do his thing there. Yeah, I mean, Maz kind of said it in chat right before this, not to spoil it, but the Prem, there's some kind of softer tiers, if you will, of there's more kind of maybe fluidity between teams. Like I said, like the 3, 4, 5 is very close, and just given on a certain day they could flip in an instant, right? The Chrome and TA could flip in an instant, right? With this, it's a little bit more spread out, as you can kind of see from even just the results of the table, not even taking the cup into factor here, right? You have a Steel Army Rebellion 1-2, right? You have an ECD that's right there, but like not quite at that level yet, but just kind of sneaky, like right there. They could be there. And then you have an Azul and EC Eternal and Axe and Rose that are kind of right there. And then unfortunately LV is kind of rounding out the bottom there, but yeah, I mean, I think the only change I had from this list from last week is just flipping Rebellion to Steel Army, given the recency bias there. I may or may not be taking into what just happened into account, but I mean, the Rebellion just looks so good, and when I can't tell if this is a positive or a negative, so I'm willing to be swayed on this in a certain direction. I've never been a fan of like the copium that comes with playing not your front 3 or your starting 3. Like, you have a roster built, you should be confident in your roster built. And I think this happened with, I can't remember, with a few seasons ago, we had this team where you just have on paper, maybe it's like KC this year where you just have this really good team on paper, but they're just not performing well, and even if they aren't playing their top 3 players, like you can't say like, oh, but they should be a top 3 team, or they should be the league leaders, but they just they don't have their best 3 available at all times. Well, I don't like that excuse. And so like for the Rebellion's case with their one loss, just like I can't remember who was at ECD, I think. Like I just don't like that excuse. In just saying that like, oh, I had a weaker like 3rd player play and we lost because of that. It's like, no, Rocket League is such a dynamic game that there's plenty of other things that can go into that. Is that a contributing factor? Maybe, but like I said, I'm willing to be swayed on that. If chat has any opinions on that, or if you have any opinions on that. So I don't know. That's what I got.
I think you could throw a bit of recency bias into the equation. Given, I guess it all depends on like your power rankings, how they go week to week. If you want to factor a bit more recency bias in, because like not that I agree with what you're proposing as far as like, yeah, like this person was out. That doesn't change the fact that like with their strongest 3, this is like the best team no matter what. I do like to see what happens in front of my face as far as what happens with results. And honestly, I was still shocked to see that Rebellion team lose to ECD in that matchup.
Because who played in place of Triple C?
Shorts was out.
Or Shorts? Who was it? Gogan that stepped up?
Yeah, it was Gogan, Triple C, and Polar.
Like that's still a good roster, like that.
That's
like
still a good roster, and I think arguably the only thing you could really say then is that Shorts is like the facilitator and the 3rd man that just keeps the engine running.
Yeah. Well, and I know Luis has said it, and I tend to agree potentially with the MVP shouts as well. Like, is Shorts, and this is no disrespect at all, but is Shorts just really that much better or that much of a game changer for them that like, as we see the 1 of 1 sample size that when he's out, Rebellion lose? Like that's like obviously 1 is too small of a sample size, at least for me to say that, but like it just begs the question of like, is he like really that impactful? Which of course the stat state is, and sounds like the results do too. So
yeah,
I don't know.
It does pose that, and I think there are things that Shorts does that Polar doesn't, that I'm willing to put him that much higher. I think he's doing the role that he is, so he can let his teammates be a lot more freer out there, which honestly I massively respect, because I think you can look at some other teams in the same light. So that's kind of like where I take this one. Now, I'm gonna get to my power rankings, and I know you said you kind of took like a little bit of that recency bias with Rebellion taking Steel Army, and I'm going to actually factor everything about the cup into my power rankings, but still come up with something.
Okay.
But before I do that, just gonna acknowledge that Dafo's chat. I think if NFL power rankings, they don't care about who plays, it's what happened. Next man has to step up, and if you have someone out for a while and you lose a lot because of it, your power rankings drop. Yeah, exactly. It's the same way. Like, it's like the exact same way that like the Cincinnati Bengals are an awful team without Joe Burrow, and they just face the consequences for it, aka power rankings and the real rankings. Which, I mean, it's unfortunate, but I think it's just a sad factor of like playing in that particular season where this thing happened.
And I think that just goes with like the woulda, coulda, shoulda, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And
like it's
always
like
a fun argument.
If we had Joe Burrow, it's like we'd be first in the league. It's like, okay, but you didn't, and so it's like we have to. It's not necessarily a penalty against you. It's just you can't factor in the on paper. Like that's I think what it is. Maybe is like you just can't say, well, KC has a top 3 roster in the Prem. They should be 3rd power ranked. It's like, no, and I think, and Luis is still in chat. He might flame me for this, but I feel like that's what he did with TA last year, where he's like, TA is the best team in the league, even though we were losing games midway through the season. He's still putting us at 1 because on paper we still have the best team. Which, okay, but if we don't have the results to do that, it doesn't matter how many superstars you have on a team. If you can't perform well and you can't win games, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's why I take a little bit of that a bit more into the factor. Bird also saying ECD won that matchup without Bird. Thank you for talking in third person. That's honestly brilliant. I love the way you just put that in chat. So keep doing what you do. And yes, honestly pretty goated, because I think you just have to work with Bizbo then. And while Bizbo is a fantastic player, having you two be on the field is a big bonus. All right, now I actually have to rank these teams before we go insane here.
Yep.
So, bottom 3 you can remain the same as the table. LVX and Rose ECE. Waiting for something to happen with those 3 teams, anything to bump them up. Now, I only have one difference between yours, and it's that Azul is going into the 3rd place and Defiance are in the 4th spot.
Okay. Yep.
I'm going to factor more of the cup in rather than the literal match that you just saw on stream here. And it's not because their strongest 3 are better than our strongest 3. Look at the cup results that EC Defiance and Azul had. It's more a reflection on them and how it can affect a little bit of that 1-2 spot as well.
Okay.
Steel Army has usually had ECD's number. Even when Bizbo's on the field, whenever they've had like their top 3 out, they tend to go well against whatever 3 they throw out, and they love to rotate. And they got a 4-1 result, dropping 1 game where they brought a new player in. I'm sorry for talking about my own teammate here. But also, Azul has kind of been firing on all cylinders to the point where, honestly, they did better against the Rebellion in the Cup than we did. That 4-1 result was a bit closer than I would probably be comfortable with if I was the Rebellion. Azul is probably the team you're okay that they're there in the league table right now because that's where they're at, but you don't want to face them the next time around. I'm saying this is someone that has played them twice already. I'm glad we got those matchups out of the way because they are a way better team now than they were in week 1 of this season. And I think the way they play together honestly just keeps improving, and the quality, like their floor keeps rising. And it's kind of like, well, 1, impressive to see, but 2, kind of scary if you're like 1 and 2. And the Rebellion, the fact that they had to play against this team and still pull out a 4-1 result, I think that does lend enough of it to push them above Steel Army, where like they did play against an ECD team. Like I can see where the argument goes against me at that point, where like, why would you take Steel Army away from 1 if you're going to push them down to 2 after not really factoring much of the recent performance literally just an hour ago. Yeah, I think Azul and Rebellion put on a matchup that earned that. I think that's what gave them that spot for me.
Okay. Yeah, I don't hate that. I think both of those teams are kind of the gatekeepers, if you will, of right, you in that second tier, right? You have like the league leaders in Steel Army and Rebellion, right? And then you have this second tier of, we can and did, obviously in ECD's case, will cause an upset to happen. We might not necessarily be consistently at that top level that you guys are at, but when we all peak at the same time, we are as good, if not better, than your team, and that's what causes those upsets. So I can definitely see 3 and 4 being flipped, because that makes sense.
Yeah, I think we
I think that's a W list
context,
though.
Yeah.
No crazy disagreements in chat, so I think that means that's a good thing.
That means nobody cares about us anymore. And I don't like
Dang.
that. I need to bring up my champ level players that are down here. We need to put on a show for the ages. Right? Oh yeah, he loves the hot takes. I forgot about that. He likes whenever I put his team down a little bit because then all of a sudden his team just shows up. So it's just it's a buff. It's inspiration. All right, got through the app part. We reviewed the week, talked about our new players. We have clips.
We don't. I think they're not working.
I can't remember. Yep. Okay, that's fine. I guess if
We
you
can
don't
probably
have
just
clips.
do a small preview of next week. I just have the Prem schedule like just up on my Discord that we can yap about, and then if you want to bring up the championship, we can do
I think
that.
that's what we're gonna have to do, given that the overlay is not functioning right now. So I don't think we'll be able to see all the fixtures as far as that goes. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I swear I saw that no slot. No, I told you that before a podcast that I was literally out. I was working till like 10, 11 yesterday, and then I honestly left work at like 4 o'clock today to go somewhere else that I had to be, and I was literally there until I started playing this game, so I had nothing prepared. Yeah, it's tough. I wish I
It's
would.
that time of year, guys. Come on.
Yeah,
Guys, us accountants, you know how it is.
yeah, it's that time of year. But if I will say, like, if I had slides ready, I would have put like a slight focus on like our newbies and our new players. I honestly would have done like a slight little like Comic Sans intro, like welcome to SGL, kind of like how you had the advice part where we gave our chat of like, you know, roll with the punches, get involved in Discord, don't talk to Palace, ignore him at all costs. How do you get all your taxes back? Don't pay them. That's all you gotta do. Talk with your employer about that one. But yeah, that was probably gonna be my focus if I had to do them, but unfortunately I just literally did not have time this week. I hope I'll have them back next week, but you know, we'll see how it goes. Okay, I don't like paying them anyways. Okay, perfect. We're on the same page. Consider this financial. Okay, I can't say that. I don't think I'm allowed to say that. Are we allowed to give financial advice?
I think you have to say something like, I'm not a financial advisor and it's your money, you do what you want with it, you know? But like we can say what we want.
Oh, so give a sponsor for Rocket Money. Okay.
Yeah.
I can do that. I can do that. But yeah, yeah, no slides, probably no clips. Much more of a thinking stream right now than a reacting stream. So we'll just have to give you the week ahead, reading it back as we have it pulled up on our own end. Rydog, you want to go first since you have the Prem?
Yeah, I got the Prem Week 9 League play happening. We've got SRC TA, little Sounders Timbers Cascadia Flash there. We've got ECRC taking on EM. Cauldron facing Dallas Burn. And I think my match of the week is going to be La Cinco Doce Rome there to round out Week 9. So, yeah, I think that La Cinco Doce Chrome series could be very good, depending on what lineup La Cinco Doce play with. Obviously, they have a new player who's very, very, very good. So do they get minutes? How many minutes? How many games? Are they going to just be an impact player for them and totally run away with the league? We'll see. We'll see, because there's plenty of games left and plenty of season left for you know, those teams that are kind of in that gatekeeping spot to kind of shake things up. Like there's no real league winner yet, at least in the Prem, and even those gatekeepers I'm talking about are pretty close. They're 1 or 2 matches away from being right back in the championship picture. So yeah, I think I'm circling that La Cinco Doce Chrome match. Not sure if that's scheduled yet, but that should be the one to look out for.
It's a good one to look out for. I'm also gonna throw a shout. I know the other ones I'm gonna watch as well, but honestly, I'm circling ECRCL Matador because ECRC has honestly been in a really strange place this season. So I want to see how they do against El Matador, especially since EM beefed up. Like they did transfers between teams, so I want to see how this one plays out. See if ECRC still remain down or if EM maybe take a slight little knock in the standings. We'll see how that one goes. But yeah, on to the championship. As you may or may not have watched, Steel Army taking on Rebellion in the run back. They did not get it done. They lose 3-1. Rebellion take back control of the league table in the championship. So that matchup's already done. EC Eternal versus Los Verdes, a match that should feature, EC Eternal still continuing their stride. They just played them in the cup last week. So you'll probably see a bunch of rotation between them. Los Verdes trying to bring in those new fellas, see how they mesh together. Hoping for a game win out of them. Sorry, EC Eternal. I want you to be the ones to give them that first game win. We'll see how that one goes. And Axon Roads versus EC Defiance. Pacific Northwest battle that I'm sure they will definitely be on Axon Roads' mind as they look to get the run back against EC Defiance. And for Defiance, that's for them to maybe break back up into that threshold of like, okay, maybe if a couple of results go our way, maybe we can make this a really interesting final week in SGL.
Yeah, obviously, the Rebellion Steel Army match obviously was already played, but Axon Rose ECD could be sneaky good. I know the Axon Rose boys had some times off, obviously, because they're unfortunately kicked out of the cup, but relaxed, rejuvenated, all of those things, and so they're looking good. Yeah, and obviously as a top team, Debit, you and I know about this well. It's just you just have a target on your back, right? And so it's harder to stay at the top than climb to the top. So obviously, especially for even like the ECD boys, this theoretically is a game that they should win against Axon Rose, but you never know, right? And so you can't sleep on any of the teams in the league, and you just got to perform your best and do what you got to do to take care of business.
Yep, got to take care of the competition that is directly in front of you, no matter what week it is. Don't do what Steel Army did. Go win your results and matchups and go schedule them so that we can go watch them on Twitch and maybe I can commentate again. Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah, that'll be our preview for this upcoming week. For all those that were, watching beforehand, Steel Army versus Rebellion, thank you for watching that. For those that either stuck around for the podcast or joined in whenever the podcast started first, thank you if you joined in for the podcast but not the matchup, because
that's a real one.
Yeah, that I'm honestly impressed. And two, you're a homie because then you didn't get to see Steel Army play a little bit worse than they usually did. So, so at least you got to see a good Yaps session. Hope the power rankings were good for you guys. And yeah, we'll Rydog, any final words before I send us all home?
No, thanks for tuning in. Like Debit said, appreciate it. Obviously, get those matches scheduled so we can have some more content for this week. And I know it's kind of a little ways away, but hopefully everybody had a good holiday, kind of Christmas time, and then obviously New Year as well. We're full steam ahead, SGL 2026. So super exciting, and we're like little over a month away from at least MLS is starting back up. I'm not sure when USL starts back up. I'm sure it's fairly similar timing. So we're almost there, people. We're almost there to the start of the season.
Almost there indeed. Yeah, USL is slightly behind, but not too far behind. We'll be getting into preseason soon, and MLS as well. So, chat. See you in the games upcoming. Thank you to Maz for producing everything tonight and streaming. Thank you to Luis for commentating. Thank you, Rydog, for joining me. Thank you, all those in chat at Difo. Luis yelling at me, Maz, Bird, Nelly at one point. I saw Arglass type something, Caesar type something, and Skyline as well. So I'll leave it at that. GG's to all those tonight, and we will see you on the next broadcast. Peace.
Zeus.